This review you'll probably find incredibly late, and most likely completely pointless, because anyone who was on the fence about this game has either bought it or checked elsewhere to say, no thanks. I received a free key for this, like, a little bit after the game launched, long enough to where basically all the major retail outlets and reviewers got to do their review. So at that point I figured, bonus, I'll just play it and enjoy it, because it was a game I was interested in as soon as the trailer came out. It has improved vastly visually over the initial alpha video you saw years ago, but that's where it kind of ends. Unfortunately, as much as I want to like Vampyr, I could not recommend this game to anyone who isn't like super duper 100,000%, I know it doesn't make sense, into nothing but the story, because frankly that's the only saving grace of Vampyr. It's the story. I found the story enthralling. I was interested. I began to care about the characters. Don't get me wrong, some of the voice acting is atrocious. It's not that great, and it can really be immersion breaking.
What news, Jonathan? I've heard you've now joined the vampire elite of London.
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
How's the situation at the Pembroke?
We're still holding out. The question is, for how long? The docks have fallen. The epidemic is spreading fast.
I may have found the source of the contagion. Doris Fletcher, the actress. Thankfully, in the end, she was destroyed by fire.
Really? Oh, please, do tell me more.
The facial animations also. It doesn't convey well. Now I understand this is not a AAA game, but if Ninja Theory can nail it, but once again, I was in the game for the story, and I truly relished in it. It is punishing in that sense, but also I feel the game is misleading. If you even look at some of the promotional photos for Vampyr on Steam, you'll see the lead character, Jonathan, talking to a female character who isn't even in this district that you see her at. But in the background, you see nothing but tons of NPCs and people, and like London looks alive. That's not the case in this game. London is a dead zone in this game. There are no people other than the main characters. Like for some reason, every district, a couple city blocks, there's only ever like 8 people at a time out at night. Oh, and vampire hunters. Oh my god, the most annoying crap ever. Since the game relies heavily on story, everything else has waned. The combat system is nothing short of depressing. It's clunky, it's janky, you can get caught on God knows a number of things that can truly just ruin your experience, and on top of that, the lock-on system is archaic, like PlayStation 2 Gundam Encounters in Space archaic. If you didn't play it, then you don't know what I mean, but if you did play it, you know what I mean. It's not good. It's not rewarding. It's not fun. The combat system is so bad, it makes you loathe the fact that you have combat. And the XP for each combat fight is worthless. It's like 10 XP, maybe 5, but you need like 1,500 to level up this trait on your character, or you need 3,000. So at that point, combating is not only tedious, but it does not give you any sort of reward for the time wasted in doing so. The fact that the game has no fast traveling, once again another bone of contingent, which forces you to backtrack all the time and engage in pointless battles repeatedly, and it becomes gnawingly annoying. This takes away from the game yet again, because it becomes so maddening. You just can't stand it. So you spend most of your time trying to just vampire dash through the people because you don't even want to bother wasting your time with the combat. Choices are everything in this game. And on one end, it's kind of cool that you're forced to live with your choices, but on the other end, it really, really, really sucks. Since there's no save feature that allows you to pick where you save or having more than one save spot, you're at the mercy of the game itself, pretty much. Wherever the game saves, that's where you will be next time. So if you make a decision and immediately regret it, like literally after you did it, sucks to suck. It's over. Live with the decision. Whatever happens, happens. And a whole district can be destroyed off of one bad decision. Or a decision you thought was a good idea, but it turned out to be bad because, let's face it, everything's a goddamn moral gray area. You've lost another district. Another thing that's punishing is the fact that if you try to play this game by doing the least collateral damage, you go out of your way to make London better, you will always be at a level deficit from your enemies. You will always be on the low end of the totem pole. Even low-level human hunter grunts will give you trouble. Then by the time you get to vampires, every vampire fight will not only be annoying, because the combat system sucks really bad, but it will be a danger and possibly a waste of resources. Oddly enough, boss battles seem easier than some of the stupid encounters you get locked in the streets. I actually didn't finish Vampyr. I'm literally at the end of the game and I've had enough. As much as I like the story, as much as I hate the save feature, as much as I hate the combat, as much as the game is unpolished, and when I say unpolished, I mean sometimes textures just pop right in or some don't even load at all. So you'll be looking at like Dr. Swansea's lab coat and it's just like he's wearing a mashed potato jacket and you think, oh my god. On top of that, the enemy AI is trash and also cheesy. And the fact that sometimes when you're running down the street, enemies can just pop right in front of you. Like they just appear. Boop! There you are, 3 vampire hunters or 3 vampires or 3 skulls, and then they all circle and you're just like, oh my god, what the hell? Sometimes if the enemy characters actually load when they're supposed to, you'll see them off in the distance in the placeholder doll pose, and you're just like, oh my god, this is bad. It's just like immersion breaking every 5 seconds. Another thing that's a problem with this game, I feel, is often NPCs repeat the same crap over and over and over and over again. So entering a district can become like an echo chamber, the same phrases you hear so many times you get sick of them.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
Pay me a glass and I'll be chill.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
And frankly, you know what? I can't recommend this game. As much as I like the story, Vampyr is too unpolished as a game. It really is. And I know it's an indie game, but it came together so poorly. You know, there's so many negatives that I can't ignore them for the one positive I really liked about the game. And that's what's sad here. So much potential squandered, really. I feel like it was released too soon, if you know what I mean. The fact that the save system is punishing, and it's not something you expect to see in games of this modern age. This is like almost Nintendo level, if you know what I mean. I'm reading reviews of other people where they sit there and say, oh, you know, I'll just have to restart the game. Like, no, I'm not doing that again. You know, I spent too much time to just restart the game to try and not make a mistake and see if it goes well. Also, despite the story being good, I feel it's extremely linear. You know, it's like there's this veil of choice, but then it's kind of not. There's only so much you're allowed to do, and it's almost like the characters go through the motions. It's hard to explain when I think Jonathan's going to convey his emotion on why he's making this choice, and it's just kind of flat. It isn't expanded further upon. It's like delivered and that's that and whatever, because I guess it's 6 in the morning and I've been playing this for hours today, and I'm just, no, you know, it's sad. really. I can't recommend it. Unless, like, you really want to play a game for a story and you aren't one of those people who try to play the game like you would actually want things to unfold, if you know what I mean. In the sense of, I play the game like, what would I do in this situation? And if you're one of those people who want to make the world a better place, Vampyr is not going to give you that option, which is fine. You know, I don't mind if, like, I do my choices and things go kind of wrong, but I do mind when you try to play a good character and you can't get enough XP to be competitive. The reason why I quit the game is because I was forced to evolve, and you have to evolve by going to sleep, and the game auto saves of its own accord. And as soon as I got up, I was still too underpowered to deal with this group of enemies in a morgue. And I guess another vampire came in and killed off an entire area. And I'm just like, all right, the area thing's a pain in the ass. Let's see if I've leveled up enough to actually be able to put up a fight in this morgue. And after a couple failed attempts of fighting level 35s at a level 31, which is weird that humans would pose that much threat to a vampire. But you know what, whatever. Long story short, they easily dispatched me every time. And it was just like, what am I doing? I'm tormenting myself. You know, it's like, I'm sick of how the story has turned out. I'm sick of the combat. If I was just playing the game like a sort of dark character, it wouldn't have been no problem. I'd probably been like level 40 or something. But since I was trying to be a good one, I didn't have much blood to evolve from. Oh yeah, I didn't even get into that mechanic, did I? Basically, to level up, you have to drink the blood of people. The more you learn about them and the healthier they are, the more XP you get, the more powerful you become as a vampire. But if you're not trying to kill everyone, and you're trying to respect people, you know, even if they're a dickhead, you're gonna be really weak. And with this game's janky combat system, you can't afford that. And as I said before, strangely enough, boss battles are easier than fighting groups of NPCs for some reason. It just doesn't make sense. And frankly, I give up. You know, this is more or less rambling really than a review, I think. It's just, I'm disheartened because I like Vampyr's story, but it's not good enough to justify all I have to put up with. You know, there's too many negatives to focus on one positive. It's kind of like, yeah, this girl I'm talking to is pretty, but she killed her brother's dog, and then she killed the neighbor's dog, and then she put laxatives in homeless people's food because she goes to the homeless shelter and passes out soup, but she thought it'd be funny to put laxatives in it. I mean, she's really cute and she likes me, but she does all these bad things. On that note, I'm out of here. Rate, comment, subscribe if you so choose to. If not, I can't ask anyone to give more of a shit than me. And adios bichachos, I guess. Oh, sorry Zoe wasn't in on the review. I should have tried to angle for him to get a free key because he was supposedly going to buy the game anyway. Then he read reviews from other people and he was just like, yeah, it's not worth me buying. And I'm like, well, I'm going to play through it anyway and see what happens. So that's why he wasn't in on this review. Apologies.
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell.
Farewell.